How y'all doing on this Saturday? All right, well, as I threw a video up the other day, not much of one, just got a bunch of parts in. So got the drive shafts all put in, and I was able to drive the truck. Oh, there's that. So I drove the truck around to the driveway. Make sure I've done so far today. All right, I pulled the transfer case out because this bracket, the bolts are tight, but the bracket's loose. And I got a seal kit that showed up today, so I'm going to reseal the transfer case. And then of course, if it was this side, it'd be real easy, but that side has the exhaust kind of in the way. So I got to figure out how to cut those. I probably have to cut those bolts off, grind them off, do something, because I couldn't get them. I couldn't tighten them up, so I really haven't tried to loosen them. But I'm going to work on that. And I think with the transfer case rattling, like I said before, I think that's what caused the problem with the U-joints, but also the bearing in the output bearing on the transmission is really wobbly. But that's okay, because I plan on checking the clutch out here in a few months. But so I'm not going to worry about that. I do have a problem with the fuel system. I found out it's got an electric fuel pump on it, which is great. But when it sits for a while, fuel pump's back here somewhere. There it is. When it sits for a while, it loses the fuel in the pump, and I thought it was out of fuel last week or a couple weeks ago, and it really wasn't. I just had to get some fuel from the tank to the pump. So I'm going to redo the fuel line along with some oil lines and tighten up some electrical stuff. So just little things. So that's why I got it on the driveway. So hold on for a second. All right, there's a transfer case, and this seal was leaking really bad. So I got a kit, all three seals, ship seal, everything. So I'm gonna start soaking this up. And for something that's so dang small, this thing sure is heavy. So I had to use the jack to get it down. It's gonna be interesting getting it back in. But found a guy on eBay that had all the seals, so I just ordered. I'm not gonna take it apart, nothing wrong with it, but I am going to just pull all the yokes and replace the seals. Hopefully with no problem. All right. There she is in the driveway, looking good, making the neighbors jealous. So let's see, I'll walk right past the 37 Ford here, which got this sitting here. This is a plate I'm going to use to, I got to trim this up tomorrow. I got new tail lights coming, but I'm going to cut this plate up and then put that's a perfect 2-inch hole in it. So I'll put a trailer receiver hitch there, so I'll have the stock hitch will be on the back, and then I'm working on adding this hitch. This is a plate that was under the truck, so basically I just want to use that bolt pattern to transfer onto this, and then I'm going to put a piece of angle in the front going across the back, so not only is it holding it up, it has the front and back pull. But really good news today. The seal, as hard as this seal came out, the new seal slid right in. All the U-joints are done. This is the short shaft from the transmission to the transfer case. All brand new U-joints. Haven't greased them all up yet because I had to take them apart. I'm going to do that as soon as I put the transfer case back in. But that's where we're at. You know, it's a little warm here in the garage again today. It's about 95. And I was hoping to cool down so I can get back to work on putting the back power window in on my 37. But maybe next weekend or weekend after. It's not going anywhere. So it's not like those TV shows where, oh, we got 8 days to get it to SEMA. No. So, all right. So let me, I'm going to go soak down the transfer case, put away my tools, start cleaning up my shop a little bit because it's been a mess the last couple weeks. And kind of slowing down on this truck for a little bit. So we'll check back later. Have a great day. Semper Fi. Well, I guess any place is good enough to start with for this weekend. This is pretty much day 7 or weekend 7, working on the 1941 Dodge weapons carrier, little oddball here. I am currently laying on my driveway. I drove the truck around yesterday. I got the pinion seal went in like a breeze in the back. You know, it's nice having the right part. I got all the U-joints in the drive shaft. You know, this drive shaft's just chilling here. And there's no drive shaft up front because I pulled the transfer case out because, well, all the seals are leaking. One's leaking real bad. And, let me back up here. This bracket was really loose. It was just, and the whole transfer case was kind of shaking. I think that's why it toasted the U-joints. But, man, today I did not, it's just been a slow weekend. Yesterday things went really smooth. But I had some other stuff I had to do. But I came out here today thinking, all right, I'll just throw the seals in the transfer case and tighten up these bolts. Well, these bolts, I don't have one right here. Okay, you can see there's 4 here on this side. I don't know if you can see up top. Yep. They have their castle nuts with a cotter key going through them. And I have no idea how you're supposed to get the cotter key. I messed with one of the a while. Eventually, I gave up and got the torch out and cut the bolts out, which was, well, yeah, it could have gone smoother, you know, but either way, I'll have to find some aid in the ointment and take care of these burns later. But I got new bolts put through there with Teflon locking nuts, so everything's nice and tight. Everything's good there. Transfer case is all resealed. I'll crawl out here and show you it there, but I went to go put it in today with my floor jack, and getting it out wasn't too bad. I had a strap wrapped around it, and then the floor jack just lowered it down and whatnot, but trying to go back up, whole different story. Yeah, so I gotta figure something else out. Almost, yeah, well, I'll be taking a few extra ibuprofens tonight. Hang on, let me pause this for a second. Yeah, these are the 3 seals on the transfer case that were just a nightmare to get out. I mean, it took me probably 30 minutes a piece wiggling those out. But there's the transfer case all sealed up nice and tight. I just hit it with some paint real quick because it was actually orange, green, and rust. So I'll touch up when I get back in. I'm not really restoring this for looks, but that's where I'm calling it quits for today. Sitting on my driveway. Yeah, I was hoping to get the transfer case back in and then put the drive shaft and everything in, get it turned around and start working on the trailer hitch. But I did find a couple other things wrong. Once again, it wouldn't start. Thought I was out of fuel, but there's fuel tanks. So somehow, well, it's got an electric fuel pump in it, and the mechanical one doesn't work, and there's fuel hoses that just go everywhere. So I'm going to order like 20 feet of fuel line, a new mechanical fuel pump, and just rerun everything and not try to chase a problem, but just eliminate it. So that's next weekend. I'm gonna have to modify my floor jack sometime this week with some sort of bracket to hold this up so I can lift the transfer case in. Then after that, it's just simple. And once the transfer case goes back in, drive shaft's back in, I'm pretty much done underneath. I drove it yesterday. The brakes were nice, tall, real high pedal, worked real good. A lot of noise from the transmission, but I don't know if that's normal or not. But that's for another day. So that's wrapping up this weekend. Not a whole lot to show. I mean, it's just I'm stuff underneath. I did get a solar charger to put on the battery, to little battery tender there. And let's see, I was working back here. We're going to put the new trailer hitch. I got everything all drilled out. Just got to do some welding on it, and I'm done for the weekend. So I'll do that later on this week. So, little oil there. And there she is. And right now it is perfect. The sun is set behind the trees. Got a little breeze blowing. I wish we could start the day off like this. But I'm going to do a little cleanup at my shop because you can always use that. One more weekend. Maybe get back to work on this one. All right, everybody. That's the update on Oddball. Nothing fancy, nothing exciting. I have literally the only parts I have left on order are the taillights. I guess they are coming from India. Little did I know. But that's about it. Maybe fuel pump. But she's getting there. It's been fun so far. All right, you guys, have a great weekend. Semper Fi.